I always tell visitors from out of town that the best place in Los Angeles to see celebrities is not on Hollywood Boulevard or not at some trendy restaurant. Instead, it's at the Criminal Courts Building, and 1995 proved me right. Every day it seemed there was a headline about an entertainer suing someone, being sued, or worse, charged with a crime. That's right, O.J. Simpson wasn't the only courtroom celebrity in 1995, far from it.
Stand out for everybody.
Rapper Snoop Doggy Dogg and his bodyguard spent the latter part of the year defending themselves against charges they shot a man to death in a drive-by shooting.
So what's the defense going to be?
Fellow rapper Tupac Shakur was sentenced to prison for sexual abuse and separately was charged with weapons violations. After several charges of battery, Whitney Houston's raucous husband, singer Bobby Brown, appeared in court and faced possible time in the big house.
In the house.
Hollywood madam Heidi Fleiss was sent to prison by 2 juries, 3 years for supplying prostitutes and up to 5 years for federal tax evasion.
It's a nightmare, and I tried very hard to keep a little bit of dignity.
Among those testifying against Fleiss, actor Charlie Sheen, who admitted spending more than $50,000 on Heidi's hookers. He had his attorney beg for forgiveness.
Apologize to my family, my future wife, my close friends for any embarrassment these incidents may have caused.
More on Charlie later. Meanwhile, Sheen's militant actor dad, Martin, was arrested again in 1995.
Just wanted to come and see the Secretary of Defense.
Latina superstar Selena's #1 fan was found guilty of murdering the Tejano icon by shooting her in the back. The former president of Selena's fan club is now serving life in a Texas lockup.
That's what we wanted, and that's what we got.
Talk host Jenny Jones was named in a lawsuit after one of her guests allegedly killed another guest. Why? Because he admitted he had a gay crush on the accused killer.
Anything you want to say at all?
Charges against Kelsey Grammer were dropped after a grand jury rejected a teenager's accusations of statutory rape.
She had a sense that she was in love with him and that he was in love with her.
Rabble-rouser rocker Courtney Love spent most of the year in court, mainly because of assault charges.
I'd go to a therapist, that's necessary.
Even Clint Eastwood was in court in '95. He won $150,000 in a legal battle against the National Enquirer tabloid.
And I got a bat in my hand, too. You better be careful.
As summer heated up, so did some actors' tempers. A bunch punched out paparazzi. Alec Baldwin, Woody Harrelson, Robert De Niro, and Tony Danza all allegedly pop photographers.
Tony Danza kicked the window to the passenger side. The window was rolled up and broke it.
Sad and tragic headlines at times dominated 1995.
The first thing I thought is suicide.
Among them, veteran actors Marlon Brando and Carol O'Connor both lost children to suicide.
I want to see you someday, Harry.
Harry is the man O'Connor publicly accused of selling the drugs that killed his 32-year-old son. Meanwhile, Brando locked himself in seclusion, even as his 25-year-old daughter was buried in Tahiti. Singer Gloria Estefan and her husband were boating when a jet skier crashed into them, killing himself in their propellers.
If you're driving and somebody jumps in front of your car, it's nothing you really don't do.
And alleged stalkers marred the year for Naomi Campbell, Morgan Freeman, and Madonna, among others. Madonna's fan even left his mark on her candy-striped Hollywood home.
Had scratched in it an inscription to my wife, Madonna, and he's misspelled Madonna. He left the O out of it and had his name signed on the bottom of heart.
In 1995, celebrities proved they're no luckier at love than the rest of us. Magazine and tabloid headlines turned every painful breakup into a public event. Among those suddenly single during the year, Julia Roberts and Lyle Lovett.
Ooh, marriage is a big thing.
Emma Thompson and Kenneth Branagh.
I think we said you what?
Lorenzo Lamas and his now former co-star Kathleen Kinmont.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas, Sylvester Stallone, temporarily, Whoopi Goldberg, Tommy Lee Jones, Fresh Prince Will Smith.
I like to have fun.
And Elizabeth Taylor. She unhitched husband number 7, Larry Fatansky. But the breakup that headlined 1995 was Kevin Costner's reported $80 million split from his childhood sweetheart. Ah, but there was romance amongst the tinsel for some. Ted Danson married Mary Steenburgen with the Clintons watching. Nicolas Cage joined with Patricia Arquette. NYPD Blues' Dennis Franz put on the cuffs, and then it got strange.
I am engaged to a lovely lady.
Charlie Sheen, yep, the same Sheen who just weeks earlier admitted spending tens of thousands of dollars on prostitutes, married a model he met only 6 weeks before.
Hey, is Heidi Slice a guest?
There's always one in every crowd.
Baywatch's Pamela Anderson married rocker Tommy Lee on the beach in bathing suits.
The father of 3 of my children is here, and that's great. The mother of 1 of my children is here, and that's wonderful.
Roseanne and Tom Arnold got married again in 1995, but to other people. They later rejoined, though, to sue a former business partner.
The father of my new baby is here.
Roseanne's next step, she had a baby, as did supermodel Christy Brinkley.
Over here.
Not that her husband got to enjoy the child, she reportedly dumped him. Likewise, Batman star Val Kilmer's family shrunk as soon as it grew. Kilmer and wife had a child, then split up. Action hero Jean-Claude Van Damme celebrated 1995 with a new son. Sinead O'Connor got pregnant shortly after this bizarre rampage. Melissa Gilbert and Bruce Boxleitner also parented in 95.
Oh, we've got 3 between us already.
Yeah.
And Kim Basinger gave birth shortly before husband Alec Baldwin allegedly assaulted a photographer waiting for a shot of the new baby. Hospitals were the scene for more than celebrity births. Real-life emergency rooms were visited by more stars in 95 than the set of NBC's ER. It was pregnancy that caused Pamela Anderson Lee to be whisked away in an ambulance. For model Anna Nicole Smith, singer Courtney Love, and actor Gary Busey, it reportedly was drugs.
He's on the road to recovery, and we feel very positive about what's happening with him now.
Michael Jackson collapsed while practicing for a December TV concert. Rapper Eazy-E checked in thinking he had asthma. Weeks later, he was dead from AIDS. Olympian Greg Louganis announced to Barbara Walters he has AIDS.
According to the CDC standards of AIDS versus HIV, I do have AIDS.
The Queen Mum and Elizabeth Taylor had hip replacement surgery. Richard Dreyfuss survived a harrowing car crash, and Larry Hagman narrowly avoided death by getting a new liver.
It was about 15 hours of actual surgery, and he has done extremely well.
And the nation gasped when Superman, Christopher Reeve, was paralyzed from the neck down after a horse-jumping accident. Ironically, it happened soon after Reeve played an accident victim in a TV movie. Here he's talking about that role.
Take somebody who's, I don't know, 6'4" and a football player who has been able to ride a bike really fast and has been able to always do the things that he's used to doing, and for him to face the fact that for the rest of his life he's going to see the world from 3 feet high and he's going to be in a wheelchair. And the psychological effect of that is profound, obviously.
Of course, there were plenty of those only in Hollywood type headlines throughout the year. Michael Jackson going on live television to talk about his alleged relationships with young boys. Farrah Fawcett posing nude for Playboy. The feds going after those Calvin Klein commercials. And Princess Diana not only kissing Charles in public, but then in a TV interview revealing all about her personal life. But the most bizarre headlines of 1995 had to be those connected to a celebrity crime wave. I call it the pretty woman syndrome.
I screwed up, and I am here today to get some help for that.
Those heartfelt words are not lyrics from this country singer. Ty Herndon, Joey Buttafuoco, and British romantic Hugh Grant were all arrested, according to police, soliciting or having sex with prostitutes. Like Herndon, Grant publicly apologized on Letterman, The Today Show, and Larry King. Meanwhile, the prostitute, Divine Brown, found fame, including roles in TV commercials.
He began to realize that he had the radio tuned to Easy 100.3. Easy 100.3 is the perfect radio station to listen to while you work.
Yes, the ad is for the radio station Brown was listening to while performing the act. The judge was obviously not a fan of that station. He sent Brown to jail. From lust to love, from tragedy to hope, those are my headliners for 1995.
The most difficult part of any Year in Review show is reflecting on the talented people we lost during the year. Jerry Penacoli pays this final tribute to those who gave us so much.
They were glamorous and boisterous. Some enjoyed remarkable longevity. Others barely tasted life. So many different talents.
Don't talk about that horrible place. You're never going back there.
Few leading actresses in the movie's golden era turned more heads than sweater girl Lana Turner. She died of throat cancer at 75. Cancer also took the lives of actress-director Ida Lupino and director Louis Malle in 1995.
If I live to be 100, I'll never be able to forget that big snowstorm a couple of years ago.
Singer and actor Burl Ives lived to be 85. In 1995, movie fans also said goodbye to character actor Donald Pleasence, British comic Peter Cook, former Bolshoi ballet dancer Alexander Godunov, and screen and stage actress Mary Wicks.
I hate phonies, and I think I'm not a phony. I think that I say what I mean.
Broadway said goodbye to Tony Award-winning actor George Abbott, who lived to be 107. And at only 17, rising model Chrissy Taylor, the younger sister of supermodel Nikki Taylor, died of an undiagnosed case of bronchial asthma.
I was telling it like it was.
He was loved, and he was hated. Howard Cosell changed sports journalism forever. Rock and roll radio also lost one of their most distinctive voices, Wolfman Jack. She twitched her nose to notoriety on the early 60s hit show Bewitched. Elizabeth Montgomery died at 57 from cancer. The Lucy Show's Gail Gordon, General Hospital's Rosalind Cash, and Western actor Doug McClure also lost their lives to cancer in 1995.
Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
Ava Gabor gave up Park Avenue for a pig farm on Green Acres. She died at 74 from pneumonia. St. Elsewhere's Ed Flanders and the Jeffersons' Roxy Roker are other television celebrities who will be greatly missed.
He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B.
The music world bade farewell to some of the most notable names in the business in 1995. The Andrews sisters, Maxine Andrews, The Temptations' Melvin Franklin, country crooner Charlie Rich, R&B pop diva Phyllis Hyman, and Blind Melon's 28-year-old lead singer Shannon Hoon. And when Grateful Dead's Jerry Garcia passed away, Deadheads around the world mourned the loss. But none will forget the most famous female dancer to grace the stage, Oscar-winning Ginger Rogers. In Los Angeles, I'm Jerry Penacoli for E! News.
Ginger Rogers was so full of zest all the way until her death. What a great lady. Yeah. Still ahead, not only are the communists now back in the USSR as we wrap up 95, but the Beatles are back in our hearts and minds after re-emerging this year on ABC. From all of us here at E! News Year in Review, thanks for watching. I'm Kathleen Sullivan.
I'm Steve Kometko, and coming up, the #1 single of the year from the movie Dangerous Minds, Gangsta Paradise.